Welcome to another episode of Already Chosen. I'm your host, My Love, and we're back with another episode of our healing series, and we got a special guest with us today. I ain't gonna do too much talking. I'm gonna let her introduce because she's special, y'all.
Oh, don't do that. My Love. Who has a name like
Don't
that?
flip it.
That's
Don't flip
that's
it.
special all by itself.
Thank you.
I had to give myself charm, love.
Girl,
okay,
thank
you came in the world with My Love. What's going on, you guys? I'm honored to be here. I'm Charm Love. I am a relational therapist, and I have been so for about 13 years now.
Okay, so let's get right into it.
Let's
Because you're
go.
saying you've been a relationship therapist for 13 years. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It
Yes,
is.
It is.
So tell me, where did it start? Like, what made you get into that?
How much time we got?
Girl, keep talking.
Okay,
We
good.
here. Let's talk.
It happened, I would say, probably year 6, almost year 7 of my own marriage. And it wasn't for me to do it for anybody else. It was for me just to understand who in the flip I had next to me, and like, what was this whole marriage thing about? Coming from a household where I definitely had 2 parents, but I didn't see a great depiction of marriage, if that makes sense. I thought I did for a very long time, and until it started to spill over. And and at first it's like you don't know, because you're just doing learned behavior. But then you're human enough to know when something hurts somebody else, to realize that something is wrong here. Let me take a step back and see if this behavior is the issue.
Right.
So that's where it started. It just started with me wanting to help myself and my husband, and then everybody just flocked after that. It became purposeful.
I know that's right. I've been using I don't want to say the bad, but you know how he do. He turned the bad into the good. It's all purposeful.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the idea of your parents, marriage, can you hit a little bit more onto what you thought it was and then what it became?
I mean, yeah, and no shade to my parents, because they do have a beautiful marriage,
Yes.
right? Because I will tell people this right here. Because it's not yours doesn't mean it's not beautiful. They love it.
Yes.
You get what I'm
it
saying?
works for them.
Right. And I remember a comedian saying, if they like it, I love it.
I know that's
Hey,
right. Yeah.
They love it. And so I think that was one of the things that took me a minute to realize that it wasn't going to look like anybody else's, that I needed to realize what I wanted my marriage to look like. And that's big all by itself, because I'm a singer by trade, right? And when you're singing, you're literally mimicking the person. And that's what I was trying to do with my marriage, right? Just mimic whatever I saw, whatever other marriages I see.
Yes.
That one looks healthy. That one looks thriving. This one looks good. Let me just mimic things. And that just wasn't the answer. So watching my parents be married for that long and seeing, okay, well, I don't like this, or I understand that works for them, but that probably wouldn't work for me. Just trying to figure out how to make it my own. So that's where that stemmed from. Me watching theirs and knowing that I didn't want that version of a marriage.
Yes. So when did you realize like you had to do a reset? Like, okay, this is what I thought. This is what it is. This is what I want now. When did you realize?
Oh, I told that ninja, we done, we good.
I know that's
That was the realization.
Mhm.
I was like, we're good. We tried.
It's a wrap.
We did it. But there has only been, it's so crazy because I just was listening to something in devotion today where Pastor Mike, the rapper, and he was just talking about how he had to come into this place where he had a moment and was like, I really have heard God's audible voice at least a few times in my life. And I know for a fact that was one real time that I heard him. And he was like, you leaving him, you're going to be leaving me. And that thing was really deep to me, right?
Jesus.
It was really, really deep to me. And I was just like, whoa, what about?
Oh
Lord,
my
we
goodness.
come have to figure this out. You said your grace is sufficient. I'm going to figure out where it's going to be sufficient at, because this ain't it. But I heard it. And it was right after that, me and him had a conversation. And my husband had told me that everybody that looked out for him or thought he was important to them left him somewhere or the other, abandoned him somewhere. So it was like, it just got too hard. And I didn't want to be that too hard. I'm your wife, right? And that was when I really had a come to Jesus moment. It was like, I really got to really figure out what these vows really look like, right? because we talk about the for better, but nobody talks about the
the
for worse,
yes.
right? We talk about the for richer, but nobody says, hey, what we gonna do if we ain't got no money? You know, we talk about, you know, everybody thriving and being in their health, but what do you have to do? You have to take a back seat if your wife gets sick or if your husband gets sick.
It's not always 50-50.
It's not always 50-50. It ain't always in your old age either. You know, I think a lot of times we think that that stuff is not going to happen when we get married in our 20s and stuff, our 30s, until we're like 70 or 80 years old. Right. Life happens. Yes. Life, what they say, life be lifing. Life happens. So you might have that young marriage, like for us, you know, where I personally started dealing with things within my body, and he had to be my caregiver and my caretaker. You know, that those roles will change. So I had to really have that moment where, do I really want these vows? Can I honor them? Because I said them to God, not him, and that is that part. Yeah. You know, when you stop playing with the cute part of it, and you're like, oh, I said this to God.
This ain't funny no more.
This ain't really funny. And he was really holding me accountable.
Yes.
It was that. So it's like, okay, I'll leave you.
Leaving God too. Yeah. Can't leave him.
I gotta stick to the vows. Yeah, it was like, let's learn how to do some therapy.
Now, what were some? I want to get personal.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
I do, because there's somebody out there that you, of course, you guys know that probably have identical stories or something.
Need
where
the
they
transparency.
Can say, I need that. We need that.
We need that. I got you.
So, what are some challenges that you guys overcome, or what would you say the biggest challenge that you guys had to overcome over the course of 25 years? You know how you have that one, I don't want to say one issue, but you know how you have that issue that keeps repeating itself over. So what would you say that has been for you guys, and how did you overcome it?
In couples counseling, I call it the weed in the garden, right? Because no matter how many times you pick up the weeds, you can go back out there. That weed gonna come back, right?
Yes.
Our weed in the garden was outside child. And yes, it's as deep as everybody sees it, but it was deeper for me because at the time I wanted a child, and I wasn't getting pregnant, and so that took a toll on me. So it was matter of fact, right after that is where I started dealing with that, is what put me in therapy, right? Because my husband's from the country. I'm from Buffalo, New York, but I'm a military brat. My husband's from the country, where black families are told we don't tell our business outside the household, right? So therapy wasn't an option for him in the very beginning, right? So I told myself, in order for us to go to therapy, I'm going to have to be the therapist.
Yeah. Oh. That just hit me a different way.
So, and just imagine, like, we were 19 years old when we got married.
So you guys were super
We were babies.
young.
We were babies. I'll just set the scene. So we were babies. We definitely knew each other before the military, but we're retired military. He stalked me a little bit. He doesn't like to admit that thing. But I met him because he was playing basketball when we were in high school, and he played AAU, and they traveled. And so he came to Augusta during one of his travel seasons, and that's when I met him. We played around a little bit like all the bad little girls do. And I got pregnant at 17. But, you know, I grew up in a household. My mom was like, you know, y'all ain't together. Y'all don't have to force it. You know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do for the kid, but you don't have to force it. Right? But I left and I went into the military that April, right after the baby. He followed me that August, and we got married that following April. So April 05. And so we were 19 and 20 getting married on a lunch break. He looked at me and was like, hey, you want to go ahead and go do this? And I'm like, do what? Yeah, girl, it was just romantic, right?
Get married. I didn't want to get married.
Meet me at the altar.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
At the altar.
That's what he said. That's what he said in his Georgia boy voice, of course.
That's right.
Yeah, so, and we here, you know. Went to the courthouse and we did that thing. But being that young is what made me realize I had to give grace. We didn't even know who we were.
Yeah.
At 19 and 20, you don't personally know who you are at 19 and 20. I can honestly say it wasn't until 30 that I started having to come to Jesus meetings with myself. Was like, maybe we're supposed to do this. Maybe we need to have this. Maybe we need to go this route. So to not know yourself and then get with a spouse And you're trying to figure out who you are, and he's like, I don't even know who I am. I don't know what to tell you I like. I don't know what I like.
Then add a baby in there.
Oh.
That's a whole different.
And then a whole nother one right after that.
Yeah, that's a whole different dimension. Was there ever a point in time where you thought it's over? There's no coming back? Like, is there ever a point in time when you thought that was?
With the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Because like I said, I was actively trying to get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just a lot to deal with in that season. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with the child, because I know a lot of couples, being a counselor, who dealt with infidelity, but when you add the proof of the infidelity to it, it's another bittersweet taste.
When you speak to your other clients, right, and what I love most about you is that you're not just a counselor for other reasons. You've walked it, and you're walking it, so it's true to your journey. Mm-hmm. So when you're sitting down with these other couples, do you oftentimes see your situation in them, or do you see you and, let's say for instance, her? Like, how have you ever had a moment like that where it mirrored?
This is why healing is so important.
Yes. Okay.
Right? Because your healing will get in the way of your assignment if you let it.
Say it again.
Healing is very important.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow it to, your healing that you're supposed to be getting will get in the way of the assignment. Darius Daniel says it like this: your mood messes with your movement. 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Right?
1,000%.
As soon as you get ready to do something, I'm talking about it could be the highest thing of your life. The second, Denzel Washington said, the second you're on your highest, that's when the devil comes to bring you back down. Mm-hmm. When you start to recognize that, you do not allow your moods to mess with what you got going on.
Got to push through it.
You have to push through it. And so that's what my thing was. I realized my personal model is my mess is a message, right? A lot of people don't want the mess, but then you don't have a message. It's literally the first 4 letters. You want a message, but you have no mess. You want a testimony, but you don't have no test. Yes. You have to, it's prerequisites to this thing. And so you're going to have to determine whatever the relationship is. We're not even just talking about just marriage. We're talking about relationships, period. Yeah. You're going to have to determine, hey, is this worth it? And that's a fact. Yeah. Like, for real, because it's going to get ugly. It's going to get dirty. It gets nasty. It gets dark. Will you be the light in your situation, or will you be adding more darkness to the situation? The only thing that even penetrates darkness is light. Like, to tell yourself, like, hey, I'm going to be the light in this. At 20-something?
Yeah, that's hard.
That is hard.
It's very hard. Because you're trying to figure out how to be the light to so many other things outside of the religion. Even light to yourself. Oh, yes. Picking yourself out of it. So I know that's hard. You, girl, hold on. Like, when I tell you, I'm still stuck at the message, the test, the testimony, because that's true. Because you do got to choose. Is this worth it? Is it? So at what point did you feel, I know you said when God spoke to you, and you said, was that the point where you had to ask yourself, is this worth it or not? Or was that your answer? It is worth it. When did you answer that question?
That's a good question. If I'm honest, we've been married 20 years. It wasn't until maybe 2 years ago when I was like, yeah, it is worth it. Wow. It was my all things work together moment. Wow. I think we try to force relationships, but you can't force growth, and that's what a relationship is growth. The more you try to force growth, it's like a puzzle piece that you got from a whole other puzzle, but you're trying to put it in this one. It's never going to go in there. Yeah. So I need you to grow, and the only thing that breeds growth is space. I have to give you the space to be able to do it, and it has to look safe. Yeah. Like, it's a safe space, because a safe space for growth means, okay, I can mess up. Yeah. I can mess up and I don't have to feel bad about it. I can be human in this relationship. That's what it looks like. So you want to know that you're in a space with somebody, again, no matter the relationship, where there's going to be some growth. Because I need to know we're not going to always stay like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? I need to know that, because it's okay to be like this. I just met you and you just met me.
But are we in this together on this journey?
That part.
Exactly.
That part. Are we getting anywhere? Yeah. Are we getting anywhere? Are we going through stuff? Or are we growing through stuff? Mm-hmm. Like, those are 2 different words. I think we try to make the same, but they're not. Like, to keep going through something, that's insanity.
Yeah.
To keep doing something over and over, no results, nothing different. No, you want to make sure that you're in a place where not only do you want growth, but you most definitely see it.
Yeah. So when you're talking about the safe space and the distance that you had to do, and when you figured out after that's crazy. You said 20 years, and then just 2 years ago is that confidence built up even more.
Absolutely.
Have there been times, not even just within your personal, situation, but even people that you may have counseled, where you saw that the growth was one-sided? How does that work when the growth is one-sided, or is it able to work?
Yes and no. So yes, because somebody has to grow first.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody has to be the one to say, you know what, I don't like this. So we got to do something else. Something has to give. Something has to change. But they say, be the change you want to see. Somebody has to be that person. Yeah. So yes, but at the same token, if I'm showing you change and I'm showing you growth and you still choose to stay where you're at, you're showing me that growing with me isn't what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
That part. Yes. Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
What advice would you give to not even just younger couples, but any couples out there? Because you have different phases. What advice would you give to couples out there if they're on that journey right now where they're trying to figure out, is it worth it or is it not?
Heal it. Because until you heal it, you don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Healing makes you offended. Right? An unhealed ear is an offended ear.
Yes.
An offended ear, an unhealed ear can't hear. You can't hear at all. You only hear the hurt.
Yes.
So if I don't get into a place where I'm progressing towards healing, I'm trying to heal, I'm working towards it, then it's a no. Because you're going to be in the same place. But if we're healing, then I can see where there's space to make some changes, where there's space to make some compromises, where there is time that needs to be, some grace needs to be given over here, a little bit more mercy needs to be given over here. Off camera, I told your mom one of my favorite scriptures was, the same grace you give to others is the grace I give to you. Yeah. That's a very deep scripture. I don't think people really, really put it into perspective, but it truly is, because it's like those thoughts that you have about other people, like what if God truly thought that way, that we think about each other? We'd be all out of grace. There would be no type of sufficiency. Nobody would be going to heaven. Nobody at all. We'd be stuck. I do want to go back though, because you asked me something and it literally just came to me. You asked me something about, have I ever counseled couples and had to deal with the same things? Yeah. And I told you, I said I wasn't able to do that unless I healed. And let me tell you why, because as a person that they're coming to get help from, if I'm still in that place of hurt, I'm only giving you response side of that. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, girl. I don't know if he's gonna really come back. I don't know. It's tainted and beyond bias, because I'm in a very unhealed space. But once I heal, I'm able to know that, okay, she's not telling me this to bring up old feelings. She's telling me this because I've already navigated through this. She needs a navigator. She needs some GPS. So I'm just supposed to be here to be somebody's GPS. This is assignment. That's all it is. It's just truly an assignment.
Yes. Girl, I love you.
I love you, my love.
I'm just over here soaking it all up. And she giving y'all free game right now. She really is. She giving me free game.
Come on.
Y'all free game. Tell them where they can follow you at or where they can find you.
Okay, so listen, if you need me, I promise you I need you too. I am Charm_Loves on Instagram. I am Sharmika Love on Facebook. Please hit me up, DM me, push the booking button. I promise you I want to help you just as much as you want to be helped.
Yes, y'all heard it from Charm herself. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm honored. This was so everything.
Yes, I love you guys, and remember that you are already chosen.